Commanders. Welcome to the 6th part of our guide series. Today, we're going to discuss each vehicle's components, crew members, and how they influence your gameplay. The basics of the game are fairly simple. Each vehicle in the game has armor, and if you manage to penetrate it, you deal damage to the vehicle by deducting from its pool of hit points. But that's not all there is to it. Additionally, each tank consists of several internal components and has a crew of several men. In addition to dealing hit point damage, targeting components or crew members can significantly affect the tank's performance and may sometimes lead to better results than attempting to penetrate main armor. First, let's take a look at your typical crew members. Vehicles typically have a crew of 4. These are the commander, gunner, driver, and loader. On vehicles with an automatic loading mechanism, the loader is missing, reducing the crew count to 3. The commander is the most important crew member of them all. Apart from having his own skills that you can select as a part of his progression, he or she influences everything that's going on in the vehicle. With him dead, the tank becomes less accurate, less agile, slower, and takes longer time to reload. He's typically located in the turret, right next to the gunner. You can tell his position by a hatch on the top of the turret. The gunner, as the word suggests, operates the vehicle's weapon systems. He's also typically located in the turret, and losing him makes the vehicle become considerably less accurate. You can also typically tell his position by a hatch on the top of the turret. The loader is the third crew member, typically located in the turret, usually sitting behind the gun. He loads the gun from an ammunition rack, and losing him means other crew members will have to load in his or her stead, resulting in much longer loading times. And finally, the driver almost always sits in the front of the hull. You can usually tell his position by a hatch with optics located right behind the vehicle's armor. Losing him will slow the tank down and make it far less agile. Each of these crew members occupies a size-appropriate space within the vehicle, and hitting them leads to them being incapacitated. He or she can be brought back into action using your medical kit and first aid cabinet consumables. Secondly, each vehicle consists of multiple modules. The first module to keep in mind is the vehicle's weapon system, which is usually a cannon, an autocannon, a missile launcher, or something even more exotic. Regardless, once destroyed, the weapon system stops functioning until it gets repaired, and the vehicle remains defenseless. That is why, in a duel, destroying an enemy gun is a viable tactic, although it may get a bit hard to hit. The second module worth noticing is the vehicle's suspension. This can either be wheels or a set of tracks. Destroying tracks, even on one side, will immobilize the vehicle. Wheeled vehicles can move even with up to one half of their wheels destroyed, although they become much less agile and slower. Targeting wheels or tracks is a viable tactic against targets that appear only for a short time to fire and then drive back to safety. The third module you need to know about is the vehicle's engine. The engine is typically located in the back of a vehicle, although some machines, like the Merkava series, do have it located in front. Destroying an engine has 2 effects. First, it immobilizes the vehicle until the engine is repaired. Secondly, it can start a fire that needs to be put out using a fire extinguisher consumable. Otherwise, fire can deal a tremendous amount of damage to your vehicle if allowed to continue. As you can imagine, this makes the engine a great target, although it is very difficult to damage when firing at the front of the vehicle. To get to it, you must attack the enemy's weak sides. Speaking of, you know what else can catch fire? Ammunition. Each vehicle carries its ammunition somewhere else, although most MBTs with human loaders do have it stored at the back of the turret, while most MBTs with an automatic loading mechanism do have it stored under the turret. Destroying an ammunition rack will cause either a devastating fire or a massive explosion that can destroy the vehicle outright. In some cases, the tank may survive such explosion, but it will nevertheless be extremely damaging, and you need to avoid it at all costs. There are several other components that can be targeted on most vehicles. Turret ring is the part of armor the turret sits on, and destroying it will prevent the turret from rotating. Destroying optics will make the vehicle spot worse. Destroying the APS modules will make the vehicle lose its ability to intercept or divert your shells. These, however, only make for very situational targets and should likely not be prioritized in combat. There are variations to the rules above. For example, a vehicle can have multiple ammo racks. A vehicle can have more than one loader or multiple weapon systems. Please refer to each vehicle's garage description and to the Armor Inspector feature to find out where to aim to hit these modules in order to maximize your combat potential. In the next part of the series, we'll discuss various upgrades. But until then, see you on the battlefield!